Our next guest is Ramona Zabriskie, and she has been speaking and blogging about relationships for more than 20 years. This is a highly sought-after mentor and also an author. So glad to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Nisha. It's
It
fun.
is. When we talk about marriage, everybody, I bet, has a question for you.
Oh, so many questions.
So many questions. What's the one you get asked the most, would you say, Ramona?
I would say that intimacy is one of the universal desires of women. They really want to feel close to their husbands, and they feel a disconnect, and that makes them unhappy or uncomfortable or unsatisfied.
I just love that people are asking you about that, because that's one of those topics that men and women don't like to talk about.
Intimacy? Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on what kind of intimacy you're talking about and whether you're talking to men or women. But I'm talking about emotional intimacy. That's what's really important to women. And I have students in 50 countries, all right? And this is important to women all over the world. They want to feel close to their husbands. The problem is, we don't realize how many things we do that inadvertently push them away. In our drive for connection.
Like what?
We're often exciting their fears, actually. And so if you don't know the male fears, that's what you're doing. Well, for instance, we might say something that he takes as extremely disrespectful. For instance, something is small, because that's what life boils down to. It's those little small moments.
That
right?
add up. Mm-hmm.
So small is, why are you picking this parking space? Why not over there? What's the deal? In that moment, you've just lost an opportunity that you could be sending a different message. For instance, you're very good at your job, and I like the way you're handling this. Instead, it's, why aren't you parking over there?
Isn't that crazy, that one little moment,
that
what
one
that
little
can
moment,
do to your relationship? Right. With everything women have on their plate, how do you give marriage your full attention?
You can't give it your full attention, but it's always there, right? He's like the tree in the room, growing up in the center of the room, and his eyes are always on you and your eyes are always on him. That being said, it's unrealistic to say that you're going to give full attention to your marriage. What you're going to do is learn how to respond to him in a way that helps him to feel that he's number one for you, all right? So you've got all these other kids and all these other obligations and all these other work responsibilities and so forth, right? So how do you convey to him that he's still number one, if you will, because that's really important to him. He has a fear, sorry guys, he has a fear of neglect. That you're going to drift from him or so forth. And so one tiny way of reassuring him is, again, a tiny thing, but turning towards him, literally, physically, or with your voice, with your face, enthusiastic, lighting up, if you will, when he bids for your attention. The smallest thing can make all the difference. So we don't talk a lot about working hard at marriage at Wife for Life. We talk about understanding our spouse or our loved one, understanding his why, if you will, for living, his why for loving. And when we really understand him better, and then we help him to understand us better, a lot of that idea of the hard work, that's involved in marriage dissipates, and we start to get more and more on the same page when we're not getting him all worked up over
You're speaking
things.
the same language. You're navigating those little tiny moments in a positive instead of negative way.
Yes.
You have an event coming up. I have like 87 more questions, and I'm sad we're out of time with Ramona, but you can go to this event and ask her all of those questions. It's coming up on Thursday, July 27th. It's from 6:30 to 9:30. This is a free event, but you do need to sign up to get tickets. What will you be talking about?
We will be talking about the predictable roads to a demise in marriage, because you're probably in one of the 10 steps to divorce right now without even knowing it. We'll talk about how to reverse that and be going on the road to, intimacy, closeness forever.
Things people want in their relationship. Good4Utah.com/midday, everybody, for all of that ticket information. You can also go to Ramona's website.
Yes.
We'll link you there as well. There she is. Thank you so much.
Thank
Ramona.
you.
Brian, back over to you.
You're just scratching the tip of the iceberg. Thank you, Nisha.